Nonsense Gang. It's Reid, which means it's time for more beers with Reid. It's a beautiful October morning, almost afternoonish, and I was thinking about fixing up another pot of coffee to get me through the rest of my day here, and particularly to pair with this beautiful Nakatamale Moisa de Saka from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Steve Saka, you fucking animal. Like, if you're not a cigar person, just mute right now, because you don't want to hear the sex noises I'm about to make over the cigar. It is fucking outstanding. Sure, it's a $17 cigar, but I'm tasting every penny of that $17 with each draw. The construction is perfect. No real big visible veins. It's got teeth. Oof. Teeth for fucking days. It's like an alligator. God damn it. Steve Saka, you are a fucking legend. Don't let anyone shit on you. I know you're a very vocal person on social media. Keep doing that, by the way. I'm fucking petty as all fuck. I love seeing you, go after people who shit on your shit. And, if you are a cigar guy or gal and you're in the cigar forums, you decide to light up a Saka blend, be prepared to get called out on it, because he's very good about that. Which is something I wish that more brewers did. The only really breweries that I see in my bandwidth of brewers that I follow that really call out people, would be like Scofflaw down in Georgia. They call out a lot of people. It's annoyed me in the past, but whatever. All right, enough about that. So like I said, I was needing a cup of coffee. It's dragging ass a little bit. And I figured, it's October. It's cool enough out. I don't have shit to do today. Let's have a coffee stout. And I just went to Treehouse last Friday, and I have a plethora of coffee offerings from Treehouse. That day that I went, they had Abstraction, which was an Imperial Porter with coffee going. They had a Single Shot, which is one of their coffee stouts. That was phenomenal. It's the vanilla bean variant. It's one of my favorites from Treehouse. And they also had a beer that's eluded me quite a bit. It was a bottle offering for many, many years. And I've never been able to get my hands on it when I made a visit there. And they had it in cans. And they had it like 8 per person. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to need 8 cans of that for sure. And it's a beer that they've tinkered with every time they've released it. They've made some kind of revision to the beer every time. It's not a sweeping change, but it's just like a little tuning on the equalizer every time. So we're going to do Double Shot from Treehouse. Now, I haven't had any of this batch yet. It's Tuesday, and I picked these up last Friday. And, I haven't gotten around to this bad boy yet, and very excited to get into it now. So I figured my first impression from this batch, might as well stick a camera in my face, light a cigar, and see what the fuck happens. In the past, this has been a big favorite of mine. Very, very robust. Big milk chocolate and dark chocolate characteristics. Malty goodness. And the coffee is just so appropriately used. Now, Treehouse is really cool because they now roast their coffee in-house. They have their own coffee. I was able to pick up a bag of their Kenyan there on Friday. So it's really cool to see them control every aspect of this beer, carefully selected ingredients, and their own coffee. So there's no excuses. Treehouse is putting it all on them. They've even got the Treehouse Coffee Company logo there on the bottom. This is all them. So if this batch sucks, I can't remember the last time I had a double shot, which is fucked. So very excited to get into this one. Might as well get into the notes on it since I'm doing so much talking. Double Shot, our beloved coffee stout, features coffee sourced and roasted specifically for this beer in-house. By controlling every variable, it has achieved a new level of balance, integration, and enjoyability. we experience flavors and aromas of dark chocolate, caramel, milk chocolate covered espresso beans, and a hint of citrus like acidity. Fucking spot on, Trios. The mouth feels luxurious with a soft and velvety carbonation. It is, in our opinion, an example of what is possible by applying years of learned intuition paired with full process control. I realize it's a dream over 6 years in the making, and we are immensely excited to share with you. It is 8.2%, which means Papa Reid is going to be pretty fucking toasty after this one. What you folks may not know is I've drank 3 beers going into this one. So, yeah. Let's see what she looks like. Oh, yeah. I love this glass. I will often pour Trios into a Trillium glass. I'm a Trillium boy by nature. But the orange lettering and the orange logo just superimposed over this really, really inky black liquid, and that nice deep camel, deep khaki colored head, that mocha frappuccino fucking head there. And again, it's autumn, it's fall. These are spooky fall colors, so very appropriate. But look at that, absolutely glorious. Treehouse, they're, as I always say, head monsters. Their head never disappoints any beer. Always just this thick, foamy. Look at that. Look at that shit. Oh, I'm breaking protocol. You're supposed to do pour, aroma, and then take a test. Fuck that. I'm licking that head. Ooh. So, they mentioned the carbonation, and I'm seeing a nice, steady, moderate carbonation throughout this beer, too, which is weird to see in a stout of this ABV with an adjunct, coffee. Really cool to see. Just nice, condensed, tightly packed bubbles there. The bubbles are so uniform around the side of this glass, too. It's really cool to see. You're just watching the bubbles come from the bottom of the glass and just pile in there. And towards the top, you're getting these almost white, these pockets of white foam amongst the mocha colored foam. And the bigger bubbles are they're just reaching a critical mass and bursting. I'm sure there's lots of aromatics and great character that's being lost there. So I'm gonna get a nose in this one, see if I can capture some of that. I love coffee stouts. I love coffee stouts so much. So obviously from the malts, you're getting dark roasty malt character, very chocolatey, incredibly chocolatey. It's as they described it on the can here. It's a dark chocolate plus a milk chocolate, and it's covered with the espresso beans thing, as they mentioned there. That's showing in the aroma. If you've ever had the opportunity to bite into a milk chocolate covered espresso bean, that's really what this is showing aromatically. It's fantastic. And the acidity that they also noted in the description is cutting through there from the coffee that they used, and it's adding like a bit of fruitiness to it, like a citrus quality almost, it's just fantastic. Just so many, it's multifaceted aroma. It's amazing. And there's obviously some of that great dark malt characteristic that you're getting, some tobacco. I know I'm smoking a cigar. And the retrohale between the two, phenomenal. But it's got its own, unique kind of, Moroccan tobacco characteristic to it. It's very, very, I have to describe the aroma with the color. It's like a very red smelling tobacco characteristic. It's just phenomenal to look at, phenomenal smell. Let's stop talking. I'm going to take a whack at this and see what it's doing. Salute. Now, as I said earlier, I haven't had a double shot in a very long time. But what I'm noticing right off the bat is the coffee quality is completely different. The character from the coffee is completely different. Again, this is like they used a high to medium acidity, a little bit of a fruity floral coffee roast in this, and that's coming through big time right up front. Obviously, getting all the chocolate, the dark chocolate, the espresso bean character, but that fruitiness from the coffee is adding just this this really impressive layer to it as well. It's almost like a deep molasses characteristic as well that's showing through. And in lighter ratios, you can kind of get it as like a maple syrup almost. But this is it's really got like this blackstrap molasses characteristic that's coming through, like a brown bread almost. Getting a bit of burnt toast, or almost like the char on some ribs or something like that, with like a nice brown sugar glaze over it. A lot going on there, and again the fruitiness of the coffee is just. It's almost like it's like an orange fruitiness. It's definitely like a citric fruitiness. It's fantastic. Um, the carbonation, as they took the time to note in the description. Oh, this has gone out of me. Hold, please. The cigars don't like my beer reviews. They like all the attention. It's weird. So the carbonation on this really does give it a velvety characteristic to the overall mouthfeel of this beer. It's so appropriately carbonated. If it was any more, if the carbonation ratio was any higher, it'd be like everything would be so fleeting and it wouldn't stick around so much. Any less carbonation, though, this would almost appear syrupy and super viscous, just from the flavor characteristic and the milky characteristic that you're getting from the chocolate notes in the malt. But with an appropriate carbonation, it coats the mouth, but it doesn't sit there like you're drinking a glass of chocolate milk. And it definitely does have like a great between sip factor where you're just like, I need another sip of that. I need some more of that up front. There's even some like dark berry in there, like some blackberry, or even some like Maine blueberries that shine through with like a the little bit of tannininess from the skins, and the meat of the blueberry is coming through really well. It's fantastic. If you told me there was some fruit added to this as an adjunct, I wouldn't be able to argue that. The coffee that they chose for this is absolutely wonderful in this format, and just carrying through so nicely. And look at the head still. I've been yakking here for about 10 minutes since I poured this, and the head's still hanging around there. Typical of Treehouse. Beautiful, beautiful head. It's so inky black, and you're getting that nice contrast in the glass still hanging around there. It's a wonderful experience throughout the entire pour of the beer. Wonderful. This is one I would like to see bourbon barrel age, to see what the barreling notes could add to it. That'd be really cool to see. So, I know they don't have a really extensive barreling program. I can't say I've ever had a barreled Treehouse beer. I don't think they've ever done one. But if they were going to barrel a beer from Treehouse, this is probably the one. Maybe this, or maybe even the triple shot. Get the alcohol up there to pair with it. But at the 8.2% here, it's a very approachable stout still. It is very chewy, but it's not fudgy or it's not oily or anything like that. It's very, very approachable. So this is one I'd have no problem approaching any time of day. I could crack this bad boy with breakfast, lunch, dinner, after dinner, digestif, aperitif. I'm going to enjoy it. And if you're not a fan of coffee, again, I've been saying this a lot lately with some of the roasts that Trios has been choosing to put in their stouts and their porters. This is one that's approachable to people who say they don't like coffee, like traditional coffee. Like if I went to Dunk's, they'd be offended. But in terms of the roast here, it's and the bean selection. I'm not sure which one they chose, but it offers like so many other characteristics that it almost doesn't taste like coffee. There's coffee there. You're getting coffee flavor, but it's like a different type of coffee. It's a really, really good quality coffee they use in this, and it's fantastic. So, shout out to Treehouse on this one. Wonderful job. I know, I'm rocking my Trillium glass. What are you going to do? So if you had double shot before, if you haven't had this batch, I highly recommend going after this batch, either in a trade or making your happy ass way out to Charlton. They still have it going. I think it's 8 per still. It's crazy that this beer doesn't sell it immediately. I don't know what the fuck people are buying there. Maybe they're just making enough beer now. But this is a beer that, if you've had it before, definitely get it again because it's just different enough from what I've had in the past. And they're very good about being upfront about how they've made little tweaks to everything. So it'll be a different experience for you, but it's still double shot. It's everything you love about double shot is still going to end up in your glass every time. And it really is worth the wait. Can't go wrong with this one. So if you have to trade for it, I would trade your local brewery's unicorns for a whack at double shot from Treehouse, hands down. It's one of the best coffee stouts available today. Everything's perfect. All the levels are perfect. This is a 5-star beer. I didn't even bother looking to see what the ratings were on Beer Advocate and Untappd. Frankly, I don't give a shit. It's a beer that I'm familiar with. It's a beer that goes through permutations, but it still holds true to the double shot theme. It's a well thought out beer, as most Treehouse beers are, and they fucking nailed it in execution. So do whatever you gotta do to get your grubby little paws on it. Get yourself some double shot and really enjoy a perfectly executed coffee stout. Goddamn. All right, so I'm going to stop yakking. I'm going to get back to drinking and smoking this cigar. As always, like, comment, and subscribe on all of Nerd Sense's offerings, particularly the beers with Reid. If you want to see more of this, let us know. I've recorded a shit ton of reviews. We're going to be trying to release them a little more frequently than we have so far. All right, stay wet, stay black, and go fuck yourself.